I don't know a healthy man who would ever say that he doesn't need women.
Facts.
If you go out on dates with men, don't tell them about how you can do it by yourself and you don't need no man. If you say that bullshit,
Yeah, that's already...
stay over there with your dildo. You don't need no man. Be happy.
true.
Hoe versus good girl. Is she a hoe or is she a good girl? And as they were talking more about it and what's what, I walked in there and my mum called me and she goes, what do you think it is? Oh, every girl's a hoe. And she goes, you say what? And I said, every girl's a hoe. Even you, ma.
Boy, goddamn!
With all due respect, there is a wild sexual creature in every single one of y'all.
Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we love to talk about all things dating, relationships, and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person and relationship we want. So without further ado, please welcome my brother King to the show, MrKing.
Mr. Kit.
What are you saying, my guy? How are you?
I'm all right, my bro. How you doing?
He comes out looking fresh. You see, ladies, he's fresh in his videos. He's fresh in real life. Just got to watch out. Yeah, got to watch out for big man. Listen, pleasure to have you, of course. I always love to jump straight in. So first, tell us your age and one thing a woman should know about you if you're going to take on a date.
Jesus. Came out with a deep question straight away.
Yep.
Name's King. I'm 31. And what a woman should know if she's going to take me on a date, if I'm going to take her on a date.
So you're going to take her.
I think, you know what? My mum said something a good while ago. She said it in Twi, in Ghanaian language. She said, and what that means is you're the kind of guy who wants a woman. You need the kind of woman who's going to worship you.
Interesting.
And bro, over the course of my life, she's so right. So I kind of think if I was to extrapolate that to an entry level kind of requirement for first date, I would say super high interest. I need super high interest. I need respect. I need compliance.
Okay.
I'll take you on a date with that.
What do you, in your experience, what do you think garners that super high interest? Is it depending on the girl? Is it depending on how you're showed up as a guy? Like what garners that?
I think it's a combination of things. I think inevitably there's the bit you can't fake, which is primal raw attraction. Yeah. It's either there or it's not. And usually when people feel that, they tend to comply with the actions of the entity, so to speak. So I want a woman who thinks the world of what I look like. Whatever I come as, I hope it's doing it for her. And if it is, generally she tend to be more receptive to the plan of action I have for a date. So inevitably high interest leads to compliance.
Okay. Yeah. And how have you found that? When you've come across a girl maybe who wasn't in alignment and you went on a date, how have you handled that as a man?
I just get rid of it.
Oh, well, just like, that's
Genuinely.
it. Date's done.
I've had no qualms generally wrapping up a date after a singular drink.
Really?
No word of a lie.
How do you do that?
Just tell them. And sometimes, you know what's interesting? It ends up leading to the ice being broken so good that the date actually gets amazing after that.
Interesting.
And sometimes it's just a wrap up.
Yeah.
It could be halfway through a first drink and I would just tell them, listen, I don't mean to be odd, but I don't think this is it. The vibe isn't quite it. Is it just in my head? And usually they'd be like, yeah, I kind of feel like it too. I'd be like, listen, I don't think it's it. So I say we finish this drink. We can still enjoy each other. But then after that, let's just call it a day. And usually there's like an out breath. And then kind of like everybody's just being themselves even more. And then usually by halfway through that first drink, now I really like it.
Now you like
Do you know what I mean?
It's funny how that works.
And then things can actually progress.
Funny how that works. Yeah. Listen, you're in a dating content space, right? You know, you're building yourself a brand, a following and stuff. People starting to get to know you. How did you start into this? How did this happen?
Mr. King's Takes. I came out of a relationship and at the time, a friend of mine told me of someone she knew who fancied me. But apparently this person was looking for me on Hinge.
Right.
And I thought, what an interesting thing. And I'm an extrovert, so I've never needed an app to meet women. And but this person was looking for me on an app. So I ended up going up to them and I told them, I said, listen, I keep hearing on the grapevine that you think I'm attractive. We're not in primary school anymore. So how about just tell me you think I'm sexy? It's real simple. So that was how that started. I ended up dating this person for a while until that didn't work out. And then I thought to myself, I want to get on the apps. Let me see what it's actually saying. So I got my friend to make the profile. And it was amazing, but she just made me look too flashy with all the pictures of you looking hot here and there and whatnot. Right. So I figured, how about I just whack the everyday me on the apps? I'm on my way to the gym. I'm in the elevator, phone out, bang, snap it on the app. Right. And it ended up being a hit. So I just put the everyday me pictures on there. It ended up being likes. It was pretty nice. Ego inflating.
Yeah.
This friend of mine said to me that she doesn't actually even use dating app for dates. She just uses it for self-esteem. She just says, at the end of the day, if I'm feeling down, I look at who fancies me. That's all I use it for.
Yeah.
So initially we were just laughing and just swiping left and swiping right on people and laughing at how some people looked to us, their presentation, just discussing it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I just said to her, you know what? I'm going to go do this dating thing. Let me go do it like a baptism of fire. Why not?
Like that.
Right? Throw yourself in. So, and I kid you not when I say this, I went on a date every day for a month and a half. Daily. It was lining them up.
Was it a new date every?
A brand new date.
Was
every
it?
day.
Were some second dates the week 2 or week 3 or?
Some of them was, yeah. So some of them I was into. So there were days when there were like 2 show days.
Okay.
So yeah,
Man,
like
so
doing theater. Genuinely. So I went out and dated a lot. And by the end of it, it ended up tallying to about 45 people.
Wow.
So I sat with a few people, and then my friend, this particular friend of mine, was saying to me, she said, so we would name each woman by what she does for a profession.
Right.
So she'd be like, are you going out with lawyer girl today? So what's happening to the dance teacher? It was that kind of conversation.
Okay.
And I sat with a friend and I said, bro, how does any man pick a partner or possible partner when it's this easy?
Wow.
That's wild.
It's easy for a selective few men.
Oh, we're going to dig into that even more.
Yeah, 100%.
But I just remember thinking, I don't see any man stopping this. Because I was like, it's only been a month and a half. And bro, I want to see all of them again. Yeah. Some of them dispose of, but I want to see some more newbies. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Part of that was I'm brand new to dating apps. And it also made me start to really pay attention to whether or not this stuff was having an adverse effect on our mental health. Because when I would go out with my friends, not in a dating context, we would see people who looked like they were on dates and we would talk to them. And as we were talking to them, they kept sharing their dating struggles. And you would ask a man and a woman on a date, and he would say, yeah, I don't get dates, man. She was the only one who replied. People just end up ghosting, or you chat, it doesn't go anywhere. And obviously I wasn't going to tell them I'm going on dates every day, because that just makes you look like an asshole. But it made me think whether or not you're getting abundance or getting not so much, either way, the effect on your mental health isn't necessarily positive. Not necessarily. It can be, but not always. Yeah. And it made me start to dig into the possibility of making content around it and really highlighting whether or not it's doing us damage or doing us good. Yes. And there's something in the works which I can't talk about right now.
Okay.
So, and then I started to share advice about that to my female friends, mainly about dating, about their struggles. So that's kind of how MrKing's Take started. Yeah. The more I advised, the more they said, put it online, please. We think there's some women that would benefit from this. That's how MrKing's Takes kind of began.
I love it. I love it. And, like I said, like I've, seen some of the growth that you've had in some of your content, and yeah, I mean, I vouch for it. It's very, very good, very on point a lot of the time. I definitely want to delve into, like you said, about the mental health in terms of getting constantly rejected or having abundance, right? Yes. And while I would say this is a generalization, I would say majority of men have the rejection side of the extreme. Yeah. And majority of women have the abundance side of the extreme, right? Yeah. So what impact do you think the rejection side has that you think could be negative? And on the abundance side, what do you think is negative about that?
I feel like on the rejection side, what's negative about that, whether you're a woman or a guy, is if you're a woman, you start to feel like the ugly duckling that nobody wants. And there is nothing more rubbish than that. Yes. Because whether or not we want to admit it or not, as human beings, when you remove all the complexities of our world, it's basic. Yes. And it's human interaction. And if people don't want you because it says something about your desirability in the mate value kind of context. And if you feel like your mate value is low, that could lead to some real mental health problems that I don't think we talk about enough in our society. Very true. And the same thing happens to men. And if it does, as a man, we get to that dangerous place where you're a guy full of all this testosterone, nothing to lose because nobody wants you. Yeah. You're a danger to society, really. Very true. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the negative mental health effects of having no abundance. On the flip side, extra abundance, the negative mental health effect of that is you can become an asshole. Genuinely. Yeah. Is as a man, it's right up your imperative because you have a lot of women. Yes. What man's going to choose one when there's 20? Very true. So that's on one hand, for the imperative, it's positive. But for your mental health, you start to think your shit doesn't stink. And then human beings lose the human quality of them. They become numbers and swipes. Yeah. They become so much more disposable. Yes. And that thing we're already seeing in our society today, where people don't want to fix anything anymore. If me and you having issues, fuck you, next person. Yeah, next person. It's dangerous for our society. And when you're flooded with that many people, women become disposable. And your conflict resolution starts to suffer because now you're not actually working on anything. Is that I don't like the way you're behaving. Next, new girl in the rotation. It's very true. And it's wild. So that's a negative mental health effect too, Yeah. Just on that, before you continue that, do you think
Do you think let's say, because I know we're talking about guys here, do you think they take that approach because they're not looking for anything serious? So if they were actually looking for a serious relationship, they would actually commit to potentially working it out because they want to be in a relationship with this woman? Or do you think they're just as disposable?
I think it's both. Because on one hand, if they're not looking for a relationship, then people are even more disposable if there is abundance. If they are looking for a relationship, having people who are disposable just means your vetting process becomes uber sharp.
Yes.
In a way where it's like you tolerate a lot less, which isn't necessarily positive, like I say, right? Because there are things you can work through. But because you have so much more abundance, what you tolerate drops. Because you're just like, next person's around, so you just kind of do it.
Yeah.
And I kind of think the other thing that's really crazy about it is that you start to build your perfect woman, but through multiple women. You like things about different people, and it's like you keep you might have a rotation of 8, but together they form the ultimate girl.
The ultimate girl.
Do you know what I mean?
Yo, that's actual fact. That's true.
And that's wild, man. Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting because I've heard that more from women though, in a sense of they're like, okay, this guy was great because he had a great job. So I want to find a guy who has a great job. Cool. This guy was great because he had a Long Johnson. Great. This guy was great because he was emotionally stimulating. So it's not, now they're picking, kind of like you said, except for maybe they have less of a rotation, but maybe it's more of, okay, I like what this guy had, so I'm going to look for that plus this, plus this, plus this. What do you think, how do you think the abundance affects women as well in that sense?
I think with the women one, I made a video, and I don't know if you've seen it, about whether or not you really have options or what you have is attention.
Very true.
I think women mistake short-term options and long-term options because of that very thing. I have all these guys. This guy's got a good job. This guy pipes me out really well. You got all this stuff over here, but maybe none of them is actually vetting you as a candidate for be my girlfriend, possibly be my wife.
That's right.
So you're getting all this attention, but none of them is really an option at the bottom of the day, right? Or they're a short-term option.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that's the effect it has on women. And inevitably it deludes them into thinking they're highly desirable because you got 10 men that want to fuck you, but you think they all want you. You know, and I kind of think that's a delusional quality that happens to them. They think they have options, but really they're getting all this attention that isn't actually real.
Very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true. So yeah, you were saying about how for women that can give the perception that they may be more desirable because, and this is what I say, it's about recognizing the difference between sexual intention and romantic intention.
For sure.
Ultimately, like short-term versus long-term.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm going to give the floor to you because you have a few things that you want to talk about or ask. So, you know, what's something you want to bring to the conversation?
I got a few things in my phone I was thinking of on my way in here.
Yeah, go for it.
I wanted to ask you this because I don't necessarily personally think there's a right or wrong answer to this question. But I'm curious, in dating today, in the current dating market, who do you think is the prize, men or women?
You know what's so funny? I actually made a video about this literally last week.
Okay.
It came out. So I think women are the prize, but men are number one. And this is what I mean. A prize is something you earn through greatness.
Right.
So as a man, we learn very early on that just being who you are doesn't get the woman you want. You need to demonstrate value. Either competency, intelligence, charisma, confidence, stability.
Yeah.
Okay. So when a man works in himself and he becomes an amazing man, a great man, a byproduct of that is he can now get the woman he wants.
Right.
So she's the prize in that sense.
Yeah.
Because as a prize, you don't have to really earn the winners, so to speak. You just have to kind of exist, right? We know women are born with value, men have to create that value.
For sure.
But because of that, that's why the man is number one in the relationship.
Right.
That's why typically the man is the leader. The man is the one that you look to for guidance, for strength, to provide, to protect in terms of direction, right? Because, and this is how we know, whenever we see like a gorgeous woman with like a guy who maybe looks average to us initially, what do we say? Oh, he must be rich.
Yeah.
Oh, he must be super confident. He must be packing some heat.
Yeah.
Right? He must be someone influential. There must be something about him that makes him number one. Otherwise, she wouldn't be there.
For sure.
So in regards to who the prize is, women are the prize in the sense of because it is through our greatness that we can get the woman we want. But that's why the man's the number one in the relationship. And this also plays into a part why the double standard of women, sleeping around with many guys, right, still prevails to this day in terms of like, it's not a flex because a prize that is easily won becomes less worth the chase.
Yeah.
But a man who collects many prizes, society salutes him because that is a demonstration of his greatness.
For sure.
Does that make sense? So that's what I believe. What about you?
I'm 50-50 on that, man.
Tell me the other side.
I think the reason why is because on one hand, I agree with what you're saying, that women generally are the prize. However, I think both parties can be prizes.
Yes.
If they've raised themselves to a point where they embody what each respective gender values.
Yes.
They can be a prize to each other.
Yes.
But I think obviously all through history, men have always been the more disposable sex.
Yes.
Because they don't need that much of us to reproduce. We need all of them though.
Very true.
Because the moment one of them takes seed, they're 9 months out of the game.
Yes.
But very few of us can populate the entire world. So is the reason why with wars and shit like that, they can get rid of all the men to go fight and die.
That's right.
So it makes sense to me that women are more of the prize because of that, because we're more disposable.
Yes.
For very, very clear, righteous reason too, arguably.
Yes.
I think where it becomes odd that they are the prize is that if you look at what the statistics seem to be telling us today, with things like dating apps, which is only a microcosm for real life.
Yes.
That suggests that I saw the statistic, it said on Tinder, women swipe right on 1 in 20 profiles.
Yeah, 5%.
On Hinge, 1 in 10.
Yeah.
So that means there's this small collection of guys who get everybody.
Very true.
And men swipe right 1 in 2, 50%.
Yes.
So most men like most women.
Yes.
Most women like just a small group of men.
Very true.
So if most women like a small group of men, that would mean the prize is the small group.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
And that logic makes sense for sure. I would still say that as a demonstration of his greatness, who can collect many prizes.
For sure. Right.
Now, one thing I say to women is like, if you're with a man, obviously because you see him as number one, otherwise you wouldn't be with him.
Right.
Then you need to be the best prize he's ever won. You need to remind him and show up in a way, show him that you are the best prize he's ever earned, right? And I think because of, you're right, in terms of a small percentage of men getting the majority of the access,
right,
it means that if we're saying, for example, that, how can I put this? If we're saying that, for example, that a man pursuing a woman is like him competing to become number one so he gets her, they have to make that invitation to compete a lot more enticing.
Yes.
Right? And it might be that, okay, look, if you compete for me, these are the privileges you're going to get that this other woman won't give you.
Okay.
They do have to compete, because just because you're the prize, that doesn't mean you don't compete for people to try and earn you.
Right.
Right? So we have different competitions for sports and stuff, but they're all trying to get as many competitors to their competition, to their tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it in that sense. But I think sometimes when we talk about who's the prize, it makes us think that, okay, whoever is the prize doesn't have to work or earn.
I see.
The other person.
I see.
And I think that's a misconception.
For sure.
Because just because you can be a prize, but that doesn't mean you don't still have to earn the other person's commitment, loyalty for them to show up in a way for you.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
That does. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you something that some of you guys, I chimed in. I want you guys to give us some topics to us to talk about. Okay. Many women want a relationship. What do you think women are struggling to understand about men that they can't wrap their head around?
Many women who want the relationship.
Who want a relationship, yeah.
What do they not understand about men that they're struggling to wrap their brains around?
Yes.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I think there's a lot going on. There's a lot happening.
Yes.
Similar to what that question implies, I know lots of women who are killing it in many ways, but struggling to get the title from men. And I kind of think one of the big contributors to that is the understanding of respective leverage. I think that's a big thing that many women refuse, seemingly, or are resistant to internalizing.
Sure.
The simple idea that they hold the keys to sex and men hold the keys to the titles.
Yes.
Which means, technically speaking, and not to make it a transaction, but dating is a negotiation.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
I bring this, you bring that. We kind of find a way to trade it and hopefully build something.
Yeah.
But women seem to think that it's all them. And this is the prize thing. The reason why I think it can be unhealthy.
Yes.
Is that a lot of them have seen themselves as a prize, partly because society has reinforced the idea.
Yep.
And because of that, a lot of them show up to the dating marketplace without any desire to earn the guy.
Yes.
And especially where we're talking about, because men already know we have to go earn them. Whether it's sexual access or the relationship, we have to put some form of work in.
Yes.
We don't cry about it. We just get on with it.
That's right.
I don't think a lot of women show up with a mindset of how do I make myself indispensable to him? And I think when you come across the kind of guy that you really want, that is the mindset you need to come at it with.
Yeah.
Because that kind of man, 9 times out of 10, already has the access, all the surface level things he wants and the things that most women need to get their way through the door, he already has a lot of that around him.
Yeah.
With women arguably of a similar market value to you or better.
Yes.
So what's going to make you stand out? You have to come in here and make a case for why it should be you.
Very true.
That needs some amount of effort. And I think women don't wrap their minds around the fact that, actually, darling, you need to put some work in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think they used to? Do you think this is something that has changed in recent times? Like, do you think there's been a shift? Do you think it's always been this way?
I don't think it's always been this way. And because if I look at our parents' generation, for example, our mums, and my mum tells me about this type of thing all the time.
Yeah.
Prepping for marriage was part of her growing up.
Yes.
So there was wifely duties that they were taught as part of their being raised.
That's right.
So they had, my granddad had 6 children, 5 women, 1 man. He's in the army. Each of them is married. Each of them is a career woman. Each of them is a mom. But part of their journey was wifely duties. So all your cooking, your cleaning, your conflict resolution, your soothing a man, all of that stuff, your sexual duties, all of these things was taught to them.
Yes.
And our parents' generation knew that they were showing up to the marketplace to be assets.
Yes.
Because also places like Ghana is heavily religious. So Christianity is big over there. So the idea of the woman is a man's helpmate. He is her leader. He's the head. She's the neck. It's a team.
Yes.
Is drummed into their heads. So they show up knowing that, okay, he's going to be the head. I'm going to be his neck. How do I go in here and support this?
Yes.
I need to bring A, B, C, D, E, F, G while he's bringing X, Y, Z or whatever.
Yes.
So they showed up with assets to contribute. I don't think this modern day crop of women are showing up thinking, how do I go in here and be a support teammate? They're thinking, how's this dude going to chase me? What can I get from you?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
What is he going to do for me?
Precisely.
It's so true. It's so funny. So my heritage, my family is Nigerian. My grandfather had 6 wives, 15 children.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Very religious background, very similar setup, right? In that sense of them being a helpmate, he was a leader, etc. And it's really interesting because I think there can be a lot of resistance to it because of the revolution for feminism and stuff like that, and women making their own choice for their own lives independently. But the interesting thing is when it comes to relationship, those things still, of course, work in terms of getting the man that you want and how to be an asset to him, right?
Yeah.
But I guess what I'd love to know your take on is, why do you think a lot of women are so resistant to, or do you think they are resistant to this kind of learning or understanding, okay, well, as a woman, this is what I need to do in order to earn the man and his commitment that I want? Because getting sex from him is easy, right? You just have to make yourself available.
Yeah.
But getting his commitment, that's real girl game. Yeah. So do you think women are resistant to this messaging, to understanding that? And if so, why?
I think they are resistant. A big part of it is because I don't believe in blaming things like feminism, but it has contributed in some way. I think part of what I'm observing, and this is probably anecdotal, is that they don't think they need us. And I think that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? I say this to whenever my female friends ask me about it, I always tell them, if you go out on dates with men, don't tell them about how you can do it by yourself and you don't need no man. If you say that bullshit,
that's already
stay over there with your dildo. You don't need no man. Be happy. Do
It's
you know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
But the reality is, I don't know a healthy man who would ever say that he doesn't need women.
Facts. Bars.
Healthy men who have had great women in their family, great female friends, great women in relationships that they've experienced, healthy dynamics, they know how much they need women. Not just for the sexual element too. They need women's contributions to their lives because they see how important they are as an entity. Similarly, when I've come across genuinely healthy women who have experienced good male figures in their life, family, friends, and relationships, none of them has ever said they don't need a man.
So true.
So the moment I hear a woman say that, I immediately know
It tells
something's
you everything
faulty.
you need to want. Yeah, that's actually
Something is faulty.
That's actually bars. That's so true. And these are things that guys think about, but they'll never say. They'll just on that date, they'll be like, okay, cool. Either this isn't going anywhere or this is just casual.
You know what? I'll tell you what's interesting. This is the stuff that you hear in the boys group chat that boys don't talk about, right?
So true, yeah.
You come across a girl and she says she don't need no man. She's already been put in the casual category. The boy's not telling her nothing.
Yeah.
He's still dealing with you. He's still taking you on dates. He's still clapping them cheeks to smithereens.
Yeah.
But there's nothing coming of this. You might think something's coming of it though.
Yeah.
But in the group chat, him and his boys are talking rubbish, right? Now, I don't necessarily think it's the most healthy practice, but the point is, these are some of the things that go through a man's head when a woman doesn't show up with some degree of desire to have a more even experience of contribution.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It makes men then want to follow their imperative and slow play her.
Yeah.
Which isn't in her best interest. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. Have you heard of Orion Taraban? Dr. Orion Taraban?
No, I don't
No,
think
he's a
so.
psychologist on YouTube. I think you find him very interesting.
Okay.
I've read his book. I like a lot of what he says. A lot of it resonates. Some things I would take a different approach. One thing he says about how men should date, how women should date, is he says men should fish, but women should hunt. So men should cast a wide out, a net, catch a bunch of fish, see which of those fish he wants. But women should find the deer they want and hunt him. And I think the reason he says that, and I think that why that's actually really powerful, is because we know women are pickier than men.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And it sounds bad, but because men are generally happier to, when I say settle, I don't mean in a negative way, but they did this study where they asked men, hey, if you could meet a woman who is 80% everything you look for, would you take that? Majority of them said, yeah, I would take that.
Yeah.
They asked modern women, would you take 80% of what you want in a man? They said, no, why would I settle? Right?
Damn.
Which is a reflection of today, right? So we know that generally women are pickier, which is why they should hunt for the man that they want. As in when they see him, like, okay, how can I become indispensable to him? How can I be an asset and value to his life? And then have a standard for that so it becomes a relationship. Whereas guys, it's more about fishing, being like, okay,
Quantity
I remember
first.
we've done it, right? Like
And then
when we
safety.
started clubbing, you're just like, cool, I'm going to talk to this one. She shot me down. I'm going to talk to this. Cool, she shot me down. Oh, she's talking to me. Cool, we're going to carry on, right? It's a
Yeah.
numbers game, right?
Yeah.
And I think especially as guys, it's like, and there's two ways I think men pursue women, either through the effort he does towards her or the effort he does to become the kind of man that she desires.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you found that in your experience?
The effort yes.
Yeah.
When there's a great woman in your life, one of the things that it does for you as a man is it kind of kicks you into another gear to want to be better.
Yes.
But it's like your purpose becomes bigger. I believe that part of a man's purpose is a woman. Not just for sexual purposes too. Genuinely, the unifying of the two entities.
Right.
I believe that's part of a man's purpose.
Yeah.
Because every man I see who has got to the place in his life where he's wanted to do the family thing, wanted to do the marriage, wife, children, they've kicked into a whole new gear of ambition.
Yeah.
They've become almost a better version of the guy that was my friend.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of that is this new woman in his life and the responsibilities that it requires, the child, the life they want to build, their goals unified and not just his.
Yeah.
It kicks a man into a different place, man.
Yes.
And part of how you know a man is genuinely into you is, as a woman, you become a part of his purpose, part of his reason for living.
Yes.
The reason why he needs to get this shit right, this thing we call life.
So yeah, what you were saying about, because we had a bit of a spillage. What were you talking about? We're talking about men and women. You were saying that as a man, when he gets a woman, makes her his purpose, he gets to a different gear.
Yeah.
Something I always say, the feminine inspires the masculine.
100%.
The feminine inspires the masculine, get into
100%.
that different gear.
It kicks them into a gear that, for me, each of my friends that I've seen get to that point in life,
Yes.
there's been a growth level that's been exponential that I know would not have happened without the woman that's in their life now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's one of the big arguments for this is why marriage and that kind of thing is important.
Yes.
It genuinely adds something to a man that's substantial. And this is what I mean. Like, healthy men know this stuff. So we don't debate about how much we need women and how fundamental they are to our lives when they're great.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's the key thing though, when they're great.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're great, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, you said you wanted to talk about something about monogamy. Now that we're on marriage,
yes.
you wanted to talk about something monogamy. What was that?
I heard a take of yours. You said monogamy is tax.
Yes.
Talk me through this.
Okay. So what is tax? We tax the rich and wealthy more because tax is ultimately a redistribution of wealth.
Yes.
Because the truth is, in order for society to continue to survive, right, there needs to be an ethical way of redistributing wealth from the top down, because if they collect all the wealth, society destabilizes because the working class can't live, etc. But obviously, you want to have reasonable tax, so to speak, because you want people to be inspired to try and reach the top, right? Which ultimately benefits society and economy. If you put 10 random guys and 10 random girls on a deserted island, chances are, right, 7 or 8 of those women will initially desire 3 or 4 of those guys.
True.
right? And like we said, this is more exacerbated on dating apps. Yeah. Now, if you live in a world where monogamy isn't a thing, what do those guys do? They just enjoy the variety of different women. You get the majority of men.
Rotations.
Right? They have rotations.
Yeah.
Majority, the 6 or 7 other guys don't get any other women, right? Maybe 2 will get the 2 other women who weren't interested.
Yeah.
And then you have these men, like you said, filled with testosterone, no partner, prospect in sight, right? Now, if you enforce monogamy, what does that make those desirable men do? It makes them forced to only choose one.
Yeah.
So then what happens? The women that they don't choose, they can't be a rotation because we're enforcing monogamy. They have to go back to the market and choose from the available men there.
Right.
It's a redistribution of sexual access.
Yeah.
So monogamy is tax for the desirable man.
Bro.
Now, here's what happens.
That's as mic drop a moment as I've ever seen, if there was one.
Do you know what I mean? Now, here's what happens. What do very rich people do? They always try a way to avoid paying tax.
For sure.
So what is a desirable man? How does he avoid paying tax? To have multiple women.
Oh, Lord.
And that's what we see play out in our society.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey.
What do you think
if I
about
could
that?
pick this and drop it
Oh, my producer's happy about that one.
Bro,
And
it's true.
And it's weird because when I discovered this, thought about this, when this revelation, I don't know, this understanding of it, seeing the parallel, it really makes, because here's the thing, monogamy is better for society.
Indeed.
I think practicing polygyny on a population level destabilizes our culture and society, right? However, I understand now, and this is why it has in certain religious scripture like Islam, for example, right? Where if you are a man of means, you can have multiple wives, right? Now, here's the thing, and I really want to make this distinction because I think sometimes guys can hear this, be like, okay, cool, if I'm desirable, I deserve to just be sleeping with multiple women. It's like, no. It says multiple wives in scripture, as in you take responsibility for them.
All of them,
As opposed to you have one wife and then you just have your side pieces, side chicks.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there have been men in history who just have their concubines, right? Like the king will have his queen and then he will have his whatever, it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, and it's interesting because I think when we look at historically, there was a part of me that always thought that, oh, that's why Christianity introduced monogamy, because they recognized that if you have all the small percentage of men claiming all the women, you have all these young testosterone-filled men with nothing to do, and that's dangerous. So we need to give them purpose. We need to give them mission. We need to give them something to fight for. And what is the number one thing that men will fight for?
Women.
Oh, women.
Yeah.
How do we give them women? Well, we make everybody choose one, and those women have to go back to the market and choose from there. I'm not saying that was the purpose, but I think to pretend that wasn't an intended byproduct, I think we'd be naive.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree, man. Bro, listen. It seems, I've had this kind of conversation with my bros before where it seems like it's a shallow-minded perspective to think because of the possibility of if you become a man of means, you can have multiple wives in things like Islam.
Yes.
So there are men who genuinely want to subscribe to it for that purpose, which is a shallow reason to want to join any religious sect, right? True. But from an imperative standpoint, I completely see why.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Because most men would agree with this, those who have been able to explore variety would say, someone asked me, are you happier when you're in a relationship or are you happier when, you're being a hoe? I said, I ain't gonna lie, being a hoe feels natural. It don't feel wrong to my system.
True.
And when I say being a hoe, I don't mean running through a bunch of women carelessly.
Yes.
I mean, honestly and authentically, integriously owning the fact that you're dealing with more than one woman.
Yes.
It feels very, very natural. Being in a relationship also
because we're African, damn it, that's what it is.
Our great grandparents had all these wives. Do you know what I mean? And maybe somewhere in the blood, because Mac and Murphy, right?
Yes,
because he talks about how things like infidelity and your proclivity, is kind of genetic. So the proteins are kind of mirrored across generations.
Okay.
So maybe part of why you may be more naturally given to variety, maybe because your granddad had 15 wives. Some part of you feels natural about it. Again, it's not an excuse for lack of discipline.
I agree.
But as far as the natural tendency, you can see why it's there, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, it feels natural to be non-monogamous as much as it does being monogamous. So I said to this person, I don't feel happier in one. I would arguably say I'm a little bit more happy when I have more than one woman. What that makes me, I don't know.
No,
hey.
I hear you. So for ladies because I think a lot of women really struggle to understand this.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of women think, oh, well, when I have a guy I want, I don't want to be with anyone else. And they really struggle to understand, as a man, how can you as a man say that you want this one woman, but then you want others?
Yeah.
So what's the best way you try to describe to a woman to help her understand? And I think it's something they'll never really truly understand because they're not men. And like we say, it's not an excuse to have a lack of self-discipline. If you're a man to say, I am monogamous, you should. Right? You should be a man of your word. But of course, if you're moving authentically, then that's important. But how would you say, or what do you think we could say that would help a woman understand that part of the male psyche, the male experience?
I think a lot of women get tired of hearing the whole biology thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't blame your lust on biology.
Yes.
I think I made this video, why so many men seem to value sleeping with lots of different women. And I gave my take on the biological idea. And what I believe it is on one hand, we know that biologically men are naturally given towards spreading their seed for reasons of sperm competition. So men needed to put it as wide and far as possible to give them a chance of reproductive success.
Yes.
Because somebody else could sleep with the girl and now there's sperm warfare happening in the vaginal tract towards the possibility of an egg.
Yeah.
So there are righteous that biology thing is real. It's true.
Yeah.
However, in addition to that, I kind of think deep down in each man is a desire to know his mating value.
Validation.
What is, how royal is his DNA? Now, I think if obviously we already know scientifically, if we extrapolate all of it down to basics, sex is an opportunity for men to pass on their DNA.
Yes.
So every time you do it means you've successfully passed on your DNA, and the woman you did that with values your DNA enough to collect it.
Yes.
For the possibility of replication.
Yes.
Imagine 10 quality women want to collect your DNA. Damn. That says something about you.
Damn.
And I think deep down to a man's instincts, it makes him feel like he's valuable.
Yes.
So I don't necessarily think it's just about pleasure or it's just about biology. I think some part of it is about proof.
Yes.
I need the proof that I am him.
It's true. It's so true. It's even like, when you see like a man who's been in a marriage for 20 years, whatever, and maybe he's out with his boys and maybe a woman takes an interest. He's like, all right, I still got it. Do you know what I mean? It's proof.
Yeah. I think obviously women have their own need for that kind of validation of their desirability.
Yeah.
But I think for men, it's intoxicating. Getting that proof is intoxicating.
Yes.
If there is quantity and quality in the women that are willing to, so to speak, collect your DNA.
Yeah.
Because that's what it says to a man's instinct. And most men can't explain it intellectually as to what it does, that feeling is. And I don't think women will ever understand it in the same way we will never understand the reasons why they're so picky. Men who don't have much access to a lot of women can't possibly wrap their heads around why they're so picky. Yeah. It's like, I wish I had everybody the way you do.
Yes.
But obviously we also know scientifically that sexuality and reproduction is high stakes for women.
Yes.
STIs is high stakes for them due to the nature of the reproductive tract.
Yeah.
And men have always had the luxury of seducing and abandoning through history. You can just sleep with her, leave the seed, disappear.
Yeah. Because he
doesn't make it good, but it's happened through history.
Yeah.
So the stakes are high. So it's in a woman's best interest to be selective on who gets to.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Whereas men haven't had those same risks and costs for us.
Yes.
Which is the reason why we've had the luxury of not being so picky.
Not being so picky.
Do you know what I mean?
The consequences are less. The consequences
lower stakes. Way lower stakes.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So,
what do you think so we get the validation for the man. What do you think the validation is for women? Where's their validation come in?
As in for getting lots of men?
Yes. Like what did they get validated by is what I should ask.
By being chosen by the best possible candidate. Because there is, and this is the thing that's crazy. I remember seeing some friends have arguments with women and about whose desirability and who gets more girls and you're single versus you're single or whatever.
Yeah.
And the woman would usually say to the guys that, what, you think you get all these girls, but you're still single?
Yes.
And I would usually say to them, but the singleness is the win.
Yeah.
You don't get, but for a man, being able to have lots of women while he's single is a win for men.
That's true. That's a win. Yeah.
For you, the win for you is to get the best guy you want to take you off the market.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for you, sleeping with everybody is easy work. But for a man, considering what our imperative tends to be,
yes,
being single and getting that regular access to multiple, that is a win.
Yes.
So to tell a guy that, but you're still single, that's not a diss to a guy.
Yeah.
If he's getting it.
Yeah, if
Do you know
he's
what I
getting
mean?
it. Very true.
But to a woman who doesn't want to be single,
yeah,
but you're still single is a diss.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
So I kind of think that's what the difference is. For women, to me, is to get the very best guy they can possibly get, to want them for more than sex.
100%.
That's the real win.
That's the win.
Because for us, let's just keep it real. The time, energy, attention, and money and body and everything invested in the woman we are choosing, you are my one.
Yeah.
Is a big investment that we don't
Huge.
give to the variety.
Yes.
So for a woman, the win is to get all of that from us.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, the win is to just get what we like.
Yeah. It's so true.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
I think
so
it's just
true.
different.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
It is.
yeah.
What's something else you want to bring to conversation? Do you have something else you want to ask?
Yes, please. Oh yeah, I made a post about this recently actually as well.
Yeah, go for it.
It was this idea of if you were to speak to a woman about what she looks for in a man, chances are she describes what is a nice guy on paper. 9 times out of 10, the guy she's sleeping with doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, why do you think women say they want these good men, yet get turned on by men who aren't that, and yet don't treat these good men as good as they say they want them?
Great question.
Why do you think that is?
So I think there's 2 things at play here. I
Yeah.
think the first thing is because social currency,
Okay.
in terms of looking good to the social class, is more important for women than it is for men. That's a big reason why they say, I just want a nice guy, or I want this kind of guy. I'm not saying they're not being truthful, but for example, okay, how men would bully each other, how boys bully each other is physical aggression. How women typically bully each other is through reputation destruction.
Yeah.
Right? So it's through her social standing, how she's perceived socially. So if a woman comes out, and to be fair, a lot of women do come out and say it now, but if a woman comes out and says, yeah, I want a guy who, you know, is strong, who's going to be dominant, who's etc., that looks bad on the women demographic, because they're like, whoa, it sounds like you're wanting a guy to come and dominate you. And that doesn't look good for the ladies, right? Because we want to have this perception. But I also think, and I think many women don't maybe know that they're not translating this, is that what turns women on isn't about if he's nice, it's about his competency. So the example I'll give is like, if you have a house, you're going to get a guard dog. You don't want to get the dog that's just nice to everybody, because when the burglar comes in, he's going to be like, hey, let me show you where everything is. Right? That's useless to you. At the same time, you don't want to get the dog that's just going to attack everyone, because you want them to be loving to you and your family and your friends. But when the burglar comes, you want them to be able to take it out.
Yeah.
So you want the dog who's capable of being dangerous, but chooses to be good with you.
Yeah.
Weakness is not a virtue.
Yeah.
Not fighting because you can't fight is not a virtue.
For sure.
So I think a lot of the time when ladies say, I just want a nice guy, guys think, oh, I just need to show that I'm not dangerous.
Right.
I just need to show that I'm nice, as opposed to the competency. I think what women say is that they want a guy that they find who is competent, they're attracted to be good to her.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's that classic phrase, women want bad boys to be good for them, and guys want good girls to be naughty for them.
For sure.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I think there's a level of social pressure for women to always say what sounds good,
Of course.
because it makes her be socially perceived in a positive light, whether it's true or not, as well as when they say they want a nice guy, what they mean is they want the guy that they're fundamentally attracted to be good to them, but they miss out that fundamental attraction part.
Yeah.
And what fundamentally makes a woman attracted to you as a man is not how nice you are. It's more about your competency and your capability. That's the initial attraction.
Of course.
And then, of course, whether she feels safe with you is how you make her feel, which comes into the kindness, the consideration.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of think, you know what? I actually thought it was, I saw a discussion about the dual mating strategy and how perhaps maybe that's playing into that as well. That the idea that the subconscious sort of imperative for women in their hunt for a man is sort of split into two categories of good genetics and parental investment.
Yes.
And obviously good genetics being everything that makes you attractive on paper, physical, tall, dark, handsome, charismatic, all these signs of good, robust genes, aka you get her rocks off.
Yes.
And then you got parental investment on things like, you know, good job, can make a lot of money, ambitious, sweet, gentle. He comes off like he won't leave you alone if you got pregnant.
Yes.
And in a perfect world, women will get both of these two things in one guy.
In one man.
And it's so rare.
Yeah.
Right. So oftentimes what we see is in the early 20s or peak fertility years, they're sleeping with Mr. Good Genes.
Yes.
Because they don't require investment from him. So they're just collecting the DNA for free.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Very true.
And now that we have modern contraception, nobody needs to get pregnant. So they can just take all the DNA possible.
Yes.
And then as they start to get towards the need for investment and settling down, they start to prioritize this guy. And they reduce their need for sexiness and all that stuff, and they start raising their need for this more.
Yes.
So I kind of believe that what we're seeing is men who fit this category more than this one tend to have to be nice to women.
Yes.
Because they don't come with raw sex appeal.
Yeah, very true.
And raw sex appeal men don't need to be overly investing because they're sexy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think because of that, the way in which each side manifests their dating strategy is representative of their market value. And which side they stride more. Yeah. So I kind of think, in my opinion, the ideal place for a man is to be both.
Yeah. Yes.
Be the guy who she wants to rip your clothes off on a one night stand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she wants to keep you. If you're that rare bird, then you're winning.
Yes.
But in my opinion, if you had to be one or the other, be this guy.
I was literally about to ask you, if guys had to choose to be one or the other, which would you say? 100%. There's a phrase, and I'm reluctant to use this phrase because it comes from the quote red pill space, but I think it does very much epitomize everything we're saying. Yeah. They call it alpha fucks, beta bucks.
For sure.
The alpha fucks, the beta pays.
Yeah.
I.e. the bucks, he provides, stability in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting. What do you think, for men, what do you think is the dual mating strategy? Right? Because I have an idea, but what would you classify as in, so we are understood for the women, like getting good genes, man who's going to provide stability and not leave me.
For sure.
What's the duality for men?
I think it's similar to what women go through, except we don't talk about ours enough in the real world. On one hand, and I don't mean to be crude because I'm a bit of a potty mouth when I'm passionate. So I don't know if swearing is off the cards.
You can swear. Only adults here are watching this episode, this podcast. Go for it.
I kind of think on one hand, we want the love, the care, the commitment, the prayer of Church Mouse Mary. But at the same time, we want the booty from bad bitch Megan. Do you know what I mean? Very true. I kind of think that is the dual. It's the same thing for men.
Yes.
Because it's like what you've said about women want good men, want bad boys to be good to them.
Yes.
And men want good girls to be naughty for them.
Yes.
There's a reason why a lot of these women in the world are seeing men say, the kind of girl we want to keep is a good girl who does ABC, da 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 da. But they're also watching you thirst trapping over her, liking her Instagram photograph. You're all here chasing Meg Thee Stallions, twerking and all this shit.
Yes.
So it's like, well, which one do you want? Yeah. And the women are going, you seem to be showing this girl a lot of attention. So maybe I need to put my booty online because that's who's getting the attention.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're like, yeah, she gets attention, but we don't want to marry her though. We want to marry this girl.
Yeah.
And I kind of think men want both too.
Yes.
We just don't talk about it in the real world in a way that makes men have to confront the fact that we also have a duality that we don't talk about anywhere near. Because at the end of the day, and this is the reason why I have a very interesting relationship with the whole body count discourse. Because I kind of think men need to dig into it a little bit more and make sense of why they believe what they believe. And why perhaps it's time to adopt something new. Because let's not kid ourselves. You do want the bad bitch Megan, but you also want the good girl, which is the reason why we kind of need to break the whole Madonna whore complex. Because just because she's a bad bitch doesn't mean she's not a good girl.
True.
And just because she's a good girl don't mean she's not a bad bitch.
Very true.
Most women are actually both. I said this to my mom. There was a discussion happening in my family with all the women, and they were discussing the whole hoe versus good girl. Is she a hoe or is she a good girl? And as they were talking more about it and what's what, I walked in there and my mom called me and she goes, what do you think of this? So what do you think of what? They told me the whole story and I said, oh, every girl's a hoe. And she goes, you say what? And I said, every girl's a hoe. Even you, ma.
Boy, goddamn.
With all due respect.
With all due respect,
please don't whoop my ass. I know we're Africans, but you know what I mean? I said, even you. And then I said, forgive me, I don't mean to be derogatory, but what I mean is every woman is a hoe. By that, what I mean is there is a wild sexual creature in every single one of y'all. You know, and from my experience of thoroughly going out there and getting with enough women to the point where I could satiate the urge for myself, I've come to realize that the church mouse Mary, the CEO, the hoe, and the prostitute, and the Lily Collins, Lily Phillips, they're all the same.
Yep.
As in, when they feel safe and, more importantly, unjudged, they unleash parts of themselves that will leave men. If men knew how horny women are, we might start to give up the whole body count. My God.
Yeah.
So I believe it's in all of them.
Yes.
And because of that, just because she is one doesn't mean she's not the other. I've had experiences with some of the best women to me who added levels of value to my life that has genuinely made me have to reassess my own beliefs, are women with ridiculous body counts.
Interesting.
Ridiculous body counts. Some of the women that I have found to be problematic ain't been with nobody. I don't think it is as much of a defining factor as we think.
I
know what I mean?
I completely agree. So I agree in the sense of just because her body count is not a reflector of the value that she can add.
Yeah.
I think, and I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think what it is, it's more about, here's the thing, men and women, we look for security in each other, but just in different ways.
Yeah.
Women look for security in men, typically physical protection and provision.
Yeah.
Men look for security in terms of the children are going to be mine.
Yes.
And I think every man's worst fear is to invest and raise children that he later finds out aren't his.
Yeah.
And I think one thing I say to guys as well, and I agree, it's like you can't say you want a girl who's going to be crazy, bad be in the bedroom, but then she's hardly got any experience.
Yeah.
Like we can have anything we want, but we can't have everything we want. We have to choose one. But I think it's not even necessarily about the number, it's what the number represents.
Yes.
And it's about her relationship to sex and her body.
Okay.
Because, for example, like, let me ask you, would you rather choose a woman who's maybe been with 9 different men, but they're all in significant relationships, or a woman who's been with 6 men, but 4 of them came from an orgy?
9.
100%.
For sure.
She has a higher body count.
Yeah.
But it's not the number.
Yeah.
It's her relationship to sex.
Yeah.
Her relationship to body.
Yeah.
That's what guys are looking for. It's like, for example, and I say this to guys, like when a woman cares about how much a guy makes, if you ask a woman, would you rather a man who won the lottery tomorrow or the man who's doesn't have much going, but he's ambitious?
Right.
If she's not a gold digger, she's going with the man who's ambitious, which is most women. Because it's not about the money, it's about what the money represents.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it is one of those things where I don't know how much I should disclose this. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't.
Let's go.
Interesting enough, when I've, been, if I'm like just dating, different women, can have different connections, very honest, integral. Yeah. And the one who was like, the one that guys would consider like a side chick is the one that like provided the emotional vulnerability, provided the space for me to just be who I want to be, provided that space for me to share with her, no judgments. Bro. And it's actually crazy because it was like, wow, I wasn't even really in a place to be taking this person seriously. But when a girl's just for you like that as a guy, it does make you reconsider. And you go,
it'll make you re-examine all your beliefs.
It's true.
Because you are here, they told you to not go for the hoe.
Yeah.
And now you're here with a hoe who is the best girl you've come across. at the same time.
It's actually, it's mad.
It will make you reconsider it. And I think as men, there is some re-examining that we all need to do in that direction. I have an interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine said to me, he said, I'll never take a girl serious if she fucked me on the first date. I said, excuse me. He said, I'd never take her serious if she fucked me straight away. I said, why is that? He said, because she's easy, innit? And I remember sitting there having a deep conversation with him while I was just thinking about it. And I asked him, I said, bro, would you say you're a decent human being? He goes, yeah. Would you say you're a catch? He goes, yeah. So if you take women on dates, do you treat them very well? Yeah. So if she fucks you on the first date, what's she done that's so wrong? Because technically all she's done is fuck a guy worth fucking, if we're being real.
Yes.
So if you're saying to me that because she slept with you on the first date, but she was a fantastic woman, and now she's a red flag because your dick went inside of her, that means your dick was the issue, my bro. Because let's just be real. Because until the dick, she was kind, charming, all these great things that you loved. Then the moment you slept with her, you decided she's a red flag. So without the addition of you, she's fine.
I hear what you're saying.
It made no sense to me. And I said to him, I said, bro, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I believe I'm a great guy. It is in her best interest to fuck me right away. Straight up. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think it's a red flag.
Here's the thing. I like your logic. I like your logic. And I hear you. So I come from a different perspective on this.
I want to hear this.
I don't think if she wants something long term, I don't think it serves her to fuck a guy on the first date. I don't think it does. Because, I said about a woman's relationship to sex. I think if a woman sleeps with a man that she just met, it gives the impression she has a casual relationship to sex and her body, even though he may be great. I think it's better that I don't think a woman should sleep with a man based on her desire in him. She should sleep with him based on his investment in her. And the reason I say that is because the truth is, if we're in a relationship, you can desire other people. Yeah. And one thing that guys need to understand, there is this thing of like, okay, if a woman loves you, she probably is she becomes more monogamous naturally. But if you're going to be a long-term relationship, there may be other guys she has a crush on, she desires or whatever, right? It's not impossible, right? If a woman sleeps with a man because of her level of desire for him, can I trust her to be faithful when we're going through a tough time? We've been together 15, 20 years, and she's getting close with a co-worker who's very attractive, very successful, and she has high desire for him. Whereas if I know that she only be physical with a man who's invested in her, I know it doesn't matter how desirable she finds this guy. It doesn't matter how desirable her level is for him. The likelihood of her sharing herself with him is lower because he's not invested in her. So now here's the thing. I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker, because you're right. If she's a fantastic woman, it's like, that happened, but it is what it is, right? If she's a fantastic woman, we recognize all the value that she is, regardless of what her impression of relationship to sex may be. Yeah. Because like we literally just said, right? Even the girl who may think is a hoe, she brought a lot of value, even though her relationship to sex might be quite casual. Right. And I might get some heat for this, but the answer is, how many women do guys recognize as a fantastic woman, or how many women show themselves to be a fantastic woman from day one?
I think that's an area where many women don't have the knowledge or perhaps the coaching on how to do that. And to that end, I have another story to tell, which I've just got to throw it in there because it's important. I can't mention. I don't want to mention his name because I don't want it to draw attention to him because he'll hate it. But this particular friend is American, and he used to play basketball for one of the world's superpower countries under 21 in a competition. And he had a fancy apartment in Atlanta. They'd been on a competition. He told me this story, and he told me the story to the point where I titled it "The Basketball Player and the Hoe." Okay. Do you know the story of the basketball player and the hoe? Yes. But him and his boys come to his apartment, he says, and they had a party after a competition, and they've trashed the space. And he says him and the boys decided they're going clubbing, right? His words to me was, "We're going to go get some easy pussy." Right. So they go out to a club, and he says he finds himself a big booty bitch. Okay. Decides that she's the one that's going home with him. Okay. Takes her home. He says, mind you, his house is fucked up. He says it happened. They slept together. It was great. Next morning, he can't find her. And so I asked him, was she left your house? And he goes, I thought she left. So I was thinking to myself, this bitch came in here, fucked the shit out of me, and left the way I do it to women most days.
Damn,
That's wild.
Yeah.
And he says, but as I'm leaving my bedroom towards my living room, I start to smell something. It smelled like somebody's cooking something.
I was going to say this, yeah.
And he said, I walk in there and all the bullshit that me and the boys left in the flat is in the corner in the bag. And she's standing over my stove in the lingerie from the night before, cooking us breakfast. She'd found shit in my cupboard and my fridge and was putting a meal together for us. He said, bro, I looked at her and I thought to myself, I'm finna marry this hoe. And he said, now mind you, but I said, when he said this to me, outside of just laughing my head off,
yeah,
I said, bro, your whole story is flawed though. You ain't married. So how's the story end?
How's this happening?
You know what I mean? And he said, you're missing the point though. The point is that girl was my girlfriend of nearly 4 years. It was the first time I thought to myself, I want to marry somebody. Sometimes things don't work out. But the point is I dated that girl.
Yeah.
Because she showed me that there was more to her than just the pussy I just had. And he said, the thing is, if you want to disqualify a woman, there's plenty things about a girl that would tell you she's not good for a relationship. The fact that she fucked you just means she liked you enough to do it on the first date. That's it. Desire was high. She fancied you. There was chemistry. That's it.
Yeah.
What else will make her amazing for a partnership or not is yet to be seen. That
True.
is not the disqualifier.
I agree.
That was actually the moment when my mind changed. I was a teenager, but that was the moment when my mind changed about it.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
I
mean?
think it's interesting because, especially with the women that I work with, that I coach,
Yeah.
there's something that I coach them as well. I say the one benefit to sleeping with him on the first date
Yeah.
is that you now have opportunity to add value to his life.
Yeah.
You now have opportunity to show how much of an asset you are, which is exactly what she did.
Yeah.
So, and I think the reason I say for most women to err on the side of not doing it on the first date is because I think today most women either the ego or they don't feel comfortable in showing up in that way straight away.
Right.
Therefore, if they can't add value straight away, i.e. show that they're a fantastic woman straight away, they shouldn't be physical. But if she's going to be able to do that, then I think it can actually serve her, because especially if you have a guy, and I guess ironically, I'm almost about to contradict myself. If you have a guy and he's dating 3 or 4 different women,
Right.
let's say 3 of them, they're not sleeping, they're not going to sleep with him.
Okay.
We know that if one girl starts sleeping with him, he's going to prioritize spending time with her
For sure.
because he's getting what he wants.
Right.
Now she has the opportunity and space to add value to his life that the other women don't yet have.
Yeah.
Right? So I acknowledge that there is a time and place, depending on the woman, where that can be an advantage.
Of course. Yeah.
But I think today at the moment, I don't think most women add value in that way from day one.
But that's another interesting contradiction in terms of the, I think I saw a video, you talked about this really briefly. Why do we live in a world now where a girl can think it's less stakes to fucking up? You want to part your legs and let me enter your body and deposit bits of my DNA inside of you.
Yes.
And you think that weighs less than you cooking me a meal?
Fact.
That makes no sense to me.
It's crazy. It makes no sense.
That makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense.
So I think if I was a lady, because I said this to my friend Jess, and she died. She died laughing. I said, I think if I had to be a woman today, I won't survive. I think your lives is hard. But the one area I think I would crush is dating. I think I would kill it because I know us.
Yes.
And I say that, of course, it's easy to say because you're a man, but I know us enough to know how simple we are. And I said, if I went on a date with a guy, if the chemistry was chemistry in and my instincts on picking up that he's a good guy and all of this stuff is clicking, obviously if I don't feel like doing it, I ain't doing it. But if I am feeling it, I'm dropping some fire posts on him that night. But the moment I do, we've already ticked the bit where I can do this bit.
Yeah.
The moment now I have access to you, I'm in your space, I'm in your house, I get to see how you live and see where I can slot me in a way that can start to improve your life.
Yeah.
I get a good inside way into seeing this is how his life is like. He goes to the gym in the morning, he does this at noon. I get to see some things. Now I can come in here and start doing some things.
Yeah.
In ways that make your life easier. Now I know you go gym in the morning, cool. You come back, the protein shake is ready.
It's done.
Do you know what I'm
Breakfast
saying?
is made, 100.
How many women are doing this? That's how he starts, because once you do the sex bit, he starts to go, cool, you've ticked off the slutty bit.
Yes.
But I need you to tick off the girlfriend bit.
Yes.
Because
so if
we're just sleeping together and you're not doing any girlfriend stuff, then you're just my hoe.
Yeah.
or my side chick.
Yeah.
And if you're doing all this girlfriend stuff, but we ain't sleeping together, you're kind of my cousin, really. But
Yeah.
But we still need to do this to validate
To
everything
make
that's
it
going
romantic.
on, right?
Very,
So I
very
kind of
true.
think, but if you do both, because for example, like you say, there are some men who unfortunately, sex on the first date will make them think less of the woman. However, because what happens is sex on the first date has just shown him I can be down and dirty the way you like it.
Yes.
But if you can do that and right away also do the girlfriend bit, you mix his head up. Now he's like,
now he's confused.
I thought we was gonna be oh shit, girlfriend
Yeah.
too. And now there's an opportunity to build something that's got some duality. That's how I would approach that. But mind you, I wouldn't say go do it with everybody. I wouldn't tell a girl just go throw the cat around.
Yes.
But if you come across him, as in HIM capitals,
yeah,
don't sit there playing, man.
Him.
You don't have the luxury of playing with that guy. It's too many women around him. You drop it quickly and make sure it's good, but immediately start adding value and watch for reciprocity.
Yes.
If there is no reciprocity, leave it alone. Be done. That's what I would say. Because obviously I believe reciprocity is the music. Don't go in here and just do some random stuff, and don't go in here because obviously you should feel valuable about your body and the kitty cat.
Yes.
If it has no meaning to you, it will have no meaning to us.
Yes.
We're taking cues from them. However, if you come across that guy and it feels right, to go against what feels right is to look like you're playing a game. And to men like that, when we sense the game, we either don't deal with you because we sense the inauthenticity, or we slow play you. And the slow play you is cool. I'll bide my time till I can clap.
Yeah.
And then once we clap,
then there's peace out.
because you're playing with me.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. Let me ask you something. Let's go through each. Okay. So I'll ask my audience a few like a Q&A, some stuff, right? So we're gonna go through these like quick fire.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it. You can give your take, and I'll give a take.
For sure.
So, question one: Why does she come back when I'm seeing someone else? Can she feel an energy shift?
Why does she come back when?
Why does she come back when I'm seeing someone else? Can she feel an energy shift? So why does the girl come back when? So she ghosted him.
I got you.
And then he started seeing someone else, and now she's coming back. Why is that? Why do you think that happens?
Because women like what other women like. And women, because when you sometimes women do pick up the energy shifts, but I think more importantly, women like men that are clearly desirable. One of the easiest ways desirability is highlighted is options.
Pre-selection.
So pre-selection.
So I asked you, why did she come back when she sees someone else? We're talking about feeling the energy shift.
Yes. So women feel things significantly way more than us in terms of, like, for example, intuition.
Yep.
So any energy shifts is the reason why if you're thinking about them a lot, they can feel it. And if they're on your mind a lot, they can feel it.
Yes.
How attached you are to them, they can feel it usually.
Yes.
So they can also feel when you have abundance, i.e. there's a reason why they know when you're him. And like, you've heard that very famous thing, women break rules for the men they really like.
Very true.
And then make them for the guys that don't quite stack up. So when you're him, you get preferential treatment. Because women can tell when you're abundant or you get it like that in general.
Yeah.
So when they leave and you're not tripping, there is only one reason why a woman leaves a man and he's not that fast. Because there are other women.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can tell. And that makes you come off more valuable to women.
Yes.
Because if other women want you, they start to think to themselves, well, what would they see in that I have?
What did I miss
missed?
about him? Yeah, very true.
I made a post about Love Island and I used Dijon as a case study.
Yeah.
Where the girl he's coupled up with on Love Island right now, Meg, when she first met him, she said she was 50-50 about him. Then a bombshell came in called Malisha, and she's crazy about Dijon. Meg's interest spikes and she's territorial. Then two women in there asked Dijon if he wants to do a threesome with them. And then Meg gets even more territorial. Why is all of this happening? Because women like what women, right?
Women
Three
like
more
what
women
like.
had validated his desirability and her interest rose.
So here's the thing.
Right.
So you said it's Megan, right? Her interest rose.
Yeah.
Is that interest genuine?
I believe it is.
Okay.
But at the same time, we also as men need to make peace with the fact that there is a degree of women's interest that is superficial.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Because
fair
we also
enough.
can't ignore the fact that part of their interest is about how much we benefit them. So if other women are interested in you, that is a signifier of being a good bet for the long term.
Yes.
So there is a good reason to desire you even more intensely.
Of course, as well. And if you're the woman who gets the man that other women want, that's a status boost for you in the female hierarchy anyway.
For sure.
I want to go into the next one, but you wanted to ask a question.
So in relation to sexuality,
yes,
I've been told my whole life when I was a kid, the sex is better when you love them. I don't think it's true. But what is your take?
I think it's different.
Okay.
I think that I think for men, there's two types. There's the lustful sex, then there's the in love tender sex. I think the one that's about love, I think it's more meaningful. Right. But the one that is lust is more fun, I should say. So I think if you're at a point where you're looking for meaning in life, having meaningful sex with one woman that you care about is going to be a lot more fulfilling for you. If you're in a point where you're just looking to have fun, that's going to feel tame.
I see.
The explosive one is one that's going to be attractive to you. So I think they're different. And I think depending on what stage in life the man is in is which one he will find most appealing to him. What do you think?
That is a very perfect answer. I was like, you could write a book about it.
Stop it. It's Chalmers, see? Go watch out. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I think that's very, very true. I kind of think, because when that whole thing was preached to me, as I was growing older and experiencing more women, I started to genuinely ask myself the question, why is it that they keep saying that the sex is better when you love the girl? Whereas when I reflect on my top 10 best experiences, ain't none of them came from a woman I was in love with.
Yeah.
Some of the best of my life was women I'd known in half an hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what I'm realizing more and more of is, I guess I filled out a book with my therapist called Come As You Are by Emily Nagoski. And it's about female sexuality and learning about it. But I think every man should do it. So, to the audience, if men are watching this, do that book. Get that book. But it taught me a lot about the things that make sex great for me and the things that don't. And you discover things about your accelerators and your brakes. Accelerators being everything that really turns you on, and brakes being everything that does the opposite. And the things that make sex great for me are things like novelty and passion and raw desire. So I'm a very carnal kind of person as opposed to familiarity, and you know what I mean?
Have you ever had sex with a girl that you were in love with?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it feel different for you?
It was very different. Not in a bad way, because if she's watching this by any chance, she's gonna know.
Yeah.
However, I also did fall in love with women who I had great sex with before I fell in love with some of the women that are in the top 10, so to speak.
Got you.
So love came afterwards.
Yes.
Whereas the one where love was before was very, very different. And I don't necessarily, at this point in my life anyway, I don't think that is up my street. From what I know of me now, because the things that I need for it to be great require a level of carnalness that are separate from love.
Yes.
And the way I described it is, in terms of my long-term goals for relationships, I don't want a girlfriend who I enjoy sleeping with. I want a fuck buddy that I'm in love with. And that's the key difference. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because the sex with your girlfriend is different from your sex with your F buddy.
Yes.
Whereas when you're in love with the F buddy, it's like taking who you have that carnal craziness with.
Yes.
But there's love too, as opposed to there's love and now we're adding the other bit. And I think for me, that's more up my street.
Yeah.
As opposed to
that's how. You know what? I need to ponder on that one. I like that one. I like that one. Okay, next one. What do you personally see as cheating?
I mean, all the mandatories are absolutely in there for sure. So the biggest one being infidelity, letting somebody else sow seed in my garden. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's the big one. But also any form of advertisement. If you're off the market, I don't need any signs of I'm on the market or potential advertisement out there.
Yeah.
I don't want, listen, some people are going to get on my ass for this, but I'm being real with you about it. I don't want my woman's ass online. Facts. I do not want that.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And here's the thing. Some women are resistant to that idea, which is cool. You just won't become my girlfriend.
That's
That's
it.
fine.
No hate to you.
Hey,
we're just not a match.
post all the bikinis you want.
It is what it is.
And we will enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Ain't no titles coming out of this though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's just my thing.
No,
So,
I hear you. I think one thing as well that I trying to help explain to her. Now, one thing I say to guys is that, look, if she was an OnlyFans model before,
yeah,
and you wanted to be your girlfriend, they don't want to do it, that's on you. You shouldn't have chosen her, right?
yes.
But I think one thing that women need to understand is that when a man is serious about you, it is natural for him to become sexually territorial over you.
100%.
If he doesn't care, he ain't serious, bro. I'm sorry, girl. She's like, the likelihood that he's serious about you, and if this is a man on his purpose, he has an intention, has a mission, masculine. The reality is, because it's natural in the masculine to protect what is his.
Yes.
And if he sees you as his, that's something he wants to protect. If he doesn't see you as his, he will have fun with you, but he won't care outside of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what's fascinating? One of my cousins was in a relationship with this guy, and he's a fantastic man. And she told me about a moment where she didn't like the fact that she felt like property to him. And I said, go into detail about what you mean by property. Because if what you mean is he's acting like you belong to him, that's your proof he's in love.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Very true.
Which was actually what she was saying. And I said, if he doesn't behave like you are some special Rolex or diamond, and not to make women into objects, that's not what this is. It's just an analogy to give you an idea of what it's like for men.
Yes.
We see it when we fall in love with you, we feel like you belong to us. There is a healthy jealousy and a healthy territorialness of she is mine. I am also hers.
Yes.
So it's not a double standard, but she's mine.
Yes.
And if she's mine, I protect what's mine.
Yes.
Right? And ain't nobody about to come close to touching this.
Big facts.
So inevitably, there is a certain protectiveness that comes with that we're going to have an opinion about what you want to wear when you're going out. Rightly so, because if we don't care about you enough.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So if that kind of behavior is happening, it is your proof that he's falling in love. And of course, there is a difference between that and an unhealthy form of it in terms of control.
100%. Yes.
But we're talking about the healthy sense of he sees you as his. And he sees you as special and you're prized to him.
Yes.
He's going to have opinions about how his prize moves in the world.
Very true.
That's just what that is.
Big facts, big facts. Okay, next one. Why do guys go cold and ghost when things are going well, but then drip feed you to come back?
Oh, wow, man. I think with that one, the interest just isn't high enough. That's it. That's all there is. Or at least to me. Reflecting on personal experience, the only times I've done that, drip feed a woman when things were going good, is because I don't think she's her, but she's enough.
Yes.
You'll do for now, but you're not her.
Yeah.
So you give them just enough attention to keep them coming back.
Yeah.
And not enough to let it feel like I'm really invested here.
Yeah.
So the coldness is to cool you. If it looks like the temperature's rising, we pull back just to cool it off a bit.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said. If he can feel that you're getting to a point where he thinks you're going to be asking for commitment, making this a relationship, he'll like, I need to ice this a bit, but he doesn't want to lose you as a
sexual option.
As a sexual option. That's the cold truth, but it's the truth.
It's the cold truth.
Next one. What is emotional cheating to you?
For men or for women?
Is it different?
Both. Yeah. So, for example, I have a friend who cheated a good time ago. A friend who cheated on his woman, and it turned out his woman was cheating on him too.
God damn.
The difference here is the woman cheated with one guy. He cheated with 10 women.
Damn. Oh, damn.
The difference here is they cheated in the way the genders will cheat. He went for quantity. She went for a guy she likes.
Yes.
So she went for a guy she cares about, because women, it's the emotional and that stuff is deeper. And for men, it's just the numbers, right? I think for men, the emotional cheating is when you love somebody and you're giving what the girlfriend gets to the side chick. That is emotional cheating. Yeah. Because when you care about somebody's well-being and the investments of like all the things we talk about, your time, your energy, your attention, your money, all the things that go towards building this with somebody. If anybody else is getting a sniff of that outside of your body, that is emotional cheating, in my opinion. So is there more time invested? Yeah. Is there more money invested? Do you know what I mean? Because, so to speak, part of why they say that very common thing, when a man cheats on a woman, the woman usually asks, did you love her? Yeah. Because for her, the love is the proof that you're going to invest in this girl. Now, if it was just a drop off, you just went up to drop off the D, I don't like it, but I can cope with that. Yes. If you love her though, I'm losing you. Yes. Whereas for men, it's like, did you fuck him? Did you fuck him? Yeah. Because if he sowed seed in my garden, I'm about to harvest food that I ain't plant this. It's true. Do you know what I mean? It's true. For us, it's not, you gave him your heart. Oh, so you're not mine no more? Cool. I'm cool with that. Yeah. But he sowed seed in my garden. Yeah. We ain't doing that. It's so true. So I kind of think it's different for us. But for men, once you are emotionally attached to a woman, if the side piece gets any bit of what your real woman gets outside of your body, then that is emotional cheating. Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear that for sure. Yeah. if a guy travels to a different country to date a woman, does she need to do more to justify his investment in terms of sex, bringing value? Because he's, let's say you have man and women in different countries, but he's traveling to like see her, date her. Does she need to do more than she would if they were local? Like, what do you think?
No. Or better yet, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
Because we hear about the passport bro phenomenon,
yes,
right? Of men going out. Some of that is justified. Some of that really isn't. So if it's a man who has options, or he's quote unquote what people define as desirable or high value, and he already has options wherever he's at anyway, but he's coming all the way to international place to you. Oh yeah, there's a reason why he sees something particularly special here. And as a result of that, it's important that you don't make him look like a fool by doing more to justify that big an investment towards where you're at. Now, if it's a guy who doesn't get any play or get any real options here of women who care and want to build something with him here, and he thinks it's going to be easier where you're at, that's a very, very different reason to move.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean? So I kind of think it depends on which one it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll do one last one. Why does it seem like guys in their 30s aren't mature enough to settle down?
Because men and women peak at different times.
We just talked about this actually when the cameras are running. Go on, what do you mean?
Because the things that make women hit their peak dating market value, usually they get it up front. It's like Mother Nature gave it to them for free. Now, there are things they can do to improve it if they focus on those metrics. I'm about to make a video and y'all can get, if this comes out before it, you got it here first.
Yeah.
But the video I'm trying to talk about is about the reasons why your promotions don't equal your proposals. For men, our overall value corresponds with a rise in our dating market value.
Yeah.
So if a man is making 100K a year, if he then starts to make £1 million a year, that man is a better dating prospect because he's wealthier.
Yes.
If a woman already makes 100K, she starts making $1 million, she's not sexier to men.
Yes.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But she's not sexier because your overall value doesn't correspond with a sexual market value increase for women.
Yeah.
And I think when women start to prioritize in themselves the things they want in men, and they think that makes them a better dating candidate, it's wrong.
Yeah,
your promotions and your proposals is two different things.
Yes.
Whereas for men, his promotions will improve his chances of proposals.
Yes.
Do you know what I
Very
mean?
true.
And I think that's the difference. So a man in his 30s, some men will have options through their teens and 20s. However, the things that make men particularly attractive in their dating market value takes time to build that level of confidence, that level of competence, that financial position. They say men hit their peak financial stride at 45, bro. That's wild.
Yeah.
And generally, mid-30s, there is a confluence of the time invested in your career, your game, your experience. All of those things kind of mix into this healthy space where you're at your best.
Yeah.
Whereas we know that for women, that starts to tip in towards the lower end later on. So when it looks like the man is immature, it's not so much that he's immature. Sometimes he just didn't have the level of options that he would have really desired very early.
Yeah.
And then as everything started to get better for him with time,
Yes.
then the options started to happen.
And now he wants to enjoy himself.
It's like the candy store analogy I've heard you use before.
Yeah.
I mean, tell it just so it has
Well,
context.
to be fair, it's not mine. I stole it from a podcast, classic. It was F&F, everyone knows.
Yeah.
But it's an analogy that really depicts what this is. You know, as a woman, there's a candy store. As a woman, you get let into that candy store when you're 18 years old. Okay.
Right.
The men don't get let in until they're 35 years of age. They've been training in the gym for 3+ years and they've saved up to 100,000 in their bank account, which already says about where he's as a man positioned in life. So she's let in there at 18, then 15 years later, the men who qualify, which will be less 10%, maybe 20, the men who qualify are let into this candy store. Now, of course, you know, the ladies, you've been in there for 15 years.
Yeah.
So you've tried this sweet. You've decided what sweet is yours that you like, that you're taking home. The men who go in, they go crazy. You know, they're trying this, they're, you know, grabbing this as well, this one at the same time. Yeah. Now, of course, as ladies, you're like, yo, chill. Like, it's just candy. Like, choose one and stick with it. But he had to earn his way into the candy store. So he's going to want to try the Haribo, the Laffy Taffy, the Jaffa Cake, because you've had 15 years in there to try what you like and you've decided what you want.
Yeah.
But he's only getting to try it now.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes when women think, okay, he's a lack of maturity because he's 30, he doesn't want to settle down, he doesn't know what he wants. No, he knows what he wants. Now he just has the ability to exercise that.
Yeah.
And that's what the difference is.
Of course.
A lot of the time.
Inevitably, some men will get into the candy store earlier.
Very true.
Some will get there later. Usually
Yes.
it's later.
Yes.
I told a friend that very analogy, and to rebuttal it, she said, yeah, but if you eat all the sweets, you get diabetes. so like, don't eat all the sweets. Like, eat some of it, but don't eat all of it.
Eat some, but just that out. Nah, boy,
So,
he's eating no. He's been starved.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen, King, man, we could chat for ages. We're definitely gonna get you on again, man.
For sure,
Like, been
appreciate
an
it.
absolute amazing conversation.
Yeah.
If people want to find you, follow your content, where can they find you?
They can find me at Mr. King's Takes on Instagram, at Mr. King's Take on TikTok, and on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, bro, thank you for coming on, sharing your
Appreciate it.
wisdom. We appreciate you. Guys, go give him a follow, give him a like, check out his stuff. I definitely vouch for it. I co-sign on it. Definitely, if you're a woman and you're ready to try, want to understand men as well, I love that you follow my stuff, but definitely check him out. It's definitely worth having a look at. Thank you for coming on, bro. We appreciate you. Guys, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.